Hello?
Shut up.
What are you waiting for?
People to come in.
This
Leave me
is your
alone.
intro.
Yeah, this is my intro. So
Well, it looks like your notifications haven't.
I didn't make an announcement. I fucked up. I'm sorry.
Oh. Well, why didn't you?
I don't know, man. I'll be caught up. I get distracted very easy. See, tough fan. Come on, man.
I'm just gonna see.
Okay, you gonna see.
One person.
Oh my god! Oh my god! It's like, no, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV, back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night. I hope you're having a great day overall.
Going live
Back
when
at
your
y'all with
phone
some
about to
more
die.
boxing talk. Well, I'm gonna just get the charger.
Yeah, guys, check it out.
Oh, get with Shawty. She getting them nails done. Ooh wee. Oh wow, disrespectful. Anyways, we got some things that we currently need to discuss that's going on in the boxing world, man. We're gonna be talking about Lamont Roach saying that Gervonta Davis's team has gone MIA, missing in action. And then we also gonna talk about the incident that has just occurred with Jermall Charlo, man. It seemed like he cannot put the alcohol down, unfortunately, man. And then we gonna get into some open box topics. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's in the building thus far, man. If y'all could go ahead and hit the like button, that'd be very much appreciated. I already see a few people in the building, man. Let's get the likes up. I did not make an announcement, so I do not expect notifications to be sent out. Unfortunately, I was caught up in some other things. I didn't get home till like 9:30. So, you know what I mean? I just got in the crib not too long ago. You feel me? So if y'all could go ahead, hit the like button. Let's get the algorithm on the up so the people know that Mazuma TV is live. And if anybody in the group chat is on here right now, can you inform everybody else that the channel is live? Because
God, did she go wrong?
you know what I mean? Uh I'm going live off of my phone right now. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to the boy Coffee Plant in the building. What up? Marissa, what's going on? Marissa, how you doing? Man, while y'all here, man, please go ahead and vote for my son Micah, man. Day 4, I believe, of the competition. He's still currently 4th place, unfortunately, man. So I'm trying to get the ball rolling. You know what I mean? See if we can make any type of change. You feel what I mean? I dropped my son off a little bit early this afternoon. You know what I mean? He in great spirits, everything's going well. And he's getting so smart. It's crazy. Crazy how much he's starting to talk. She voted for him. Shout out to her. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting my son. That's a beautiful thing. Even if, things don't turn out well,
Girl,
the support he's been receiving has been amazing. You feel what I'm saying? But um we got some things that we need to discuss, man. I think it's about time that we start having this conversation about Jermall Charlo, man, because in all honesty, bro, this dude is an absolute train wreck. This dude is an absolute disappointment. In all honesty, and you know what I mean, we just got to call it what it is at the end of the day, man. This dude is absolutely embarrassing himself. He's embarrassing his fans. He's embarrassing his family. You know what I mean? This dude just cannot seem to get away from the alcohol. It's crazy. And he tries to, and, just like an addict, you know what I mean? They very, very, very rarely admit that they have a problem. They rarely admit that they are alcoholics, and they rarely admit that it's affecting their life in a negative way. You feel what I mean? If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, there's like this stud John on TikTok or Twitch, whatever it is. She's a streamer. Her name is like Emily something. What the fuck is her name? I just seen it on TikTok, but Jermall Charlo acting like an absolute fool. He drunk with his people, and this told me a lot. In all honesty, man, it just let me know that Jermall Charlo is around a bunch of alcoholics. You know what I mean? He's around a bunch of people that like to party, a bunch of enablers, to be honest with you. And you know what I mean? It's sad to see this guy, go out this way. You feel what I mean? He fought Jose Benavidez, he fought Thomas Lamana. You know what I mean? And he did all right in those performances, but you know what I mean? It just seems like this dude has these vices and he just cannot get away from, the nightlife. You feel what I mean? I don't know what it is with them Texas boys, man. You know, them motherfuckers cannot put the Bible down to save their life. They cannot stop partying to save their life, even if it has a negative effect on their career or whatever the case is. They just cannot seem to get themselves together until it's too late. You feel what I'm saying? Damn, I'm trying to find this girl's page, man. What the fuck was that girl name? So it's this streamer on TikTok. She like a little pretty. She a little pretty stud too. It's kind of confusing. I bet you Drewski will like her. Motherfucking her name Emily. So Emelie on TikTok. And then you could put like Jermall Charlo. It's gonna come right up. So they was at some type of bowling alley, and Trey Songz was there. I don't know. They had a few celebrities over there because Jamal Charlo was there and Trey Songz was there as well. And the girl was streaming, and I guess she like a little pretty stud or whatever. So she known for like bagging women. Jermall Charlo, Jermall. Jermall. Did it come up? So let me see. So I want y'all to take a look at this real quick. So the caption is "Men hate studs." Now, this is the girl right here. She actually don't even look like a stud. She kind of seems she seems pretty tapped in with like her feminine side, but whatever. I guess there's different type of studs. You know, there's different species of dyke. Oh, but anyways, look at Jamal. Look at Jamal in the background. Bro, did y'all just hear that? Look at that. She just asked me if I identify as a woman, bro. Like, what the fuck? If she goes, I want to always go. Can't even understand that nigga. Nah. Hey, back home. Thank you, but I touched the game. So back home. Are you gonna text me back or what? I'm not worried about you. We worried about live. What over here came to us though? So what the fuck did you talk about? What did you talk about? You over there by there, you came to us. What did you talk about? We're not doing shit. We're just sitting down. He's drunk, bro. He's drunk, bro. What the fuck happened? What the fuck, bro? Why the fuck is he so mad? I don't know. I did not do anything. You gotta listen to me. I'm talking to you guys in car. If you let me handle it and follow my lead, everything will be okay. It's because I'm a stud, bro. Literally, he jealous, bro. I'm telling you. It wasn't because she was streaming. It was because she was a girl getting bitch. Look, Jamal Charlo slapping the camera on her hand. So that's the video right there. I came across this on Twitter, bro. I got a few thoughts. I got a few opinions on this, man. I'm gonna just keep it 1,000, bro. Like Jermall Charlo, he's a bitch ass nigga. Like that's just the reality of this situation. Ain't no way to really go around it. I've been giving dude benefit of the doubt and just hoping that um you know, he get his shit together and he gets back in the boxing and make some big fights happen and stuff like that. Like I was genuinely rooting for the guy. You feel what I mean? Feel what I'm saying? Even when he had gotten slapped by Caleb Plant and shit like that, I was rooting for him to get that fight. Like, man, go ahead, get that fight, bro. Get your lick, try to get your lick back. Blah blah blah. Whatever the case is, man. But I'm gonna tell y'all exactly why he's a bitch ass nigga. Right? It's really so simple because I know a million of these type of motherfuckers. You feel what I'm saying? Um, he's one of them niggas that acts so tough with bitches, females. He's very, very tough with women, but whenever men come around him, he get very, very quiet. Very, very quiet, man. He one of them type dudes that he act tough around women, and then when men come around, all of a sudden, you know what I mean? That energy ain't the same. That energy a little bit fragile. He a bit hesitant. You know what I mean? Motherfucker, you know what I mean? Just in bitch mode. You feel what I'm saying? Like I'm sorry, there's no other way to put this. Like I recall several situations where Jermall Charlo done got punked by other boxers, other men. You know what I'm saying? But every time we see this nigga, he always acting crazy with women. You feel what I mean? You having trouble with your baby mom and shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like you always quick to argue with women and get the women level. It's like, bro, like real men, we don't even feel the need to get into exchanges or verbal altercations with women. You feel what I mean? If every time that I've ever gotten in a situation with a woman, I'll just be like, yo, just bring your man over here. You feel what I'm saying? Like, just bring your man over here. Ain't no reason to even be talking to you. We not even, like, ain't nothing for us to even be speaking about. You feel what I mean? And I'm surely not about to be arguing back and forth with no girl, because what the fuck is that gonna make me look like? And Jermall Charlo never took that into consideration. So I guess it looked like they was at a bowling alley. Looked like the girl was just having a good time, just streaming, providing content. That's probably how she makes a living for herself. You know what I mean? That's just a new era that we in. These fucking streamers are like the new basketball players. You know what I mean? Making millions of dollars just to record their lifestyle. You know what I mean? They situations and stuff like that. And she looked like she was minding her business. She not going around pointing her camera at nobody. They in the same motherfucking section. Um, and you know, they walk up to her and ask her, does she identify as a female? And it was like, yeah. So when she says yeah and turns around, Jermall Charlo look at her like with a face and like roll his eyes and shit. Like, this nigga Jermall's a real life like bitch ass nigga, bro. Like, there's no other way to put it. You feel what I mean? Shout out to the boy 88 Sports Talks with the $5 super chat. He says Daniel Jacobs walked up to me. He got real quiet. That's when I knew he was a fraud. That's a fact. Motherfucker looked like he wanted to melt into the wall. You know what I'm saying? Because Jermall Charlo, a lot of people don't even know, he said some real disrespectful shit to Danny Jacobs. Yeah, and y'all could go find the interview. You know what I mean? I'm sure that interview is still up. But you know, Daniel Jacobs is somebody who is a survivor of cancer. You feel what I mean? So that's why they call him the Miracle Man, because you know he was able to come back into boxing and perform at an elite level, considering you know overcoming cancer or dealing with cancer at one particular time. So Jermall Charlo and Daniel Jacobs, there was like a possibility of them fighting or rumors about them fighting. You know, the fans were looking to see that fight happen. And Jermall Charlo had said something along the lines of, "Oh, like I'm a whole different cancer." You know what I mean? Like, you ain't beating this cancer. Like, completely insensitive comments. You know what I mean? Very disrespectful. That same dude that was on that TikTok that was arguing with that bitch. That the fighter, he survived. He had like some type of cancer in his spine and he beat it. You know what I mean? So he was a cancer survivor. That's why they call him the Miracle Man. Danny Jacobs. They was talking about Danny Jacobs and Jermall Charlo fighting each other. This was years ago. You feel what I'm saying? And he said, "Oh, this is I'm a totally different type of cancer. Like, you ain't gonna beat this cancer." Some shit, some crazy shit like that. And I think like even in the video, you could hear the reporter like, "Oh, come on, man," because they knew that shit was a low blow. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all can find that on YouTube right now. So Jermall Charlo has always showed signs of being a bitch ass nigga, but besides that, he's also a sellout. This is a man who went up on these fucking media platforms and was defending Teofimo Lopez, and when they brought up the racist allegations, not allegations, the racist remarks that Teofimo Lopez had brought up, he was like, "Oh man," and mind you, this is his people. This is his people. And he going around saying, "Oh man, everybody racist, bro." Like, you know what I mean? Like, I say racist shit all the time. Like, bro, y'all niggas is like the biggest, don't y'all type niggas like Jermall Charlo, y'all some of the worst niggas that ever walked this planet, because y'all do not stand for any type of morals, no integrity whatsoever, no fucking pride in yourself as a black man. That shit is embarrassing, bro. Like, y'all lack so many important principles that you're supposed to have as a man. I could only imagine what you would do for a check. I could only imagine, like, if you cooning publicly, I could only imagine what you do in private, brother. That shit is insane. So, anyways, looked like the stud was having a good time. Her name was Emily. I don't want to disrespect. I mean, she called herself a stud, so it is what it is. The girl Emily, she's streaming. They asked her if she a female, so they purposely fucking with her. So something happens where some girl flirting with the stud John. And I guess people in Jermall Charlo group didn't like the fact that the girl was like, oh, sitting all cozy with the stud or whatever. So they started coming at the stud for no reason. Jermall Charlo bringing up shooting niggas in the video. He's bringing up oh, get her the fuck out my section, blah blah blah. And he was like, you need go do that shit in Trey Songz section. Go do because apparently Trey Songz was there as well. So that was like probably a little event or whatever where some celebrities was there. And she goes to Trey Songz section and Trey Songz kicking it with her. Now, there's a bunch of allegations that's towards Trey Songz right now. So he's not the most stand-up individual, himself. From what I heard, he liked to get a little crazy off the liquor too. But this man actually showed her love. You see what I'm saying? Like he was really kicking it and cooling with her as if he actually knew her. And that's the type of person that you should be. You know what I mean? Especially when somebody's giving you good energy, you should be giving that in return. But not Jermall Charlo, man. So this is a professional athlete who cannot put down the liquor to save his life. This man has consistently gone on Instagram live drunk, you know what I mean? Acting crazy, talking crazy about people, and his people just forcing him to get off live. This is somebody who, was on live talking about how he doesn't want to box anymore. And he just want to spend time with his kids, and he comes back into the fights looking completely out of shape. And in the lead up to the Thomas Lamont fight, he sitting on a boat, you know what I mean, drinking and all types of shit. Like this dude Jermall Charlo is another alcoholic, y'all. To be honest with you, he kind of give me Adrian Broner vibes. And I don't know who drinks more than the other. I don't be around neither one of them, but both of these niggas drink like they a fish. You feel what I mean? So if that's the type time that they gonna be on, bro, and they gonna be making a fool out of themselves in public like that and not taking the sport serious, cause bro, Jermall Charlo, you have a small window left, brother. There's only a little uh there's a small window left for you in boxing. That window is about to close within the next couple years, and this is how you choosing to close out your career. You are an absolute clown. You always act tough with bitches, but never act tough with niggas. Caleb Plant slapped the dog shit out of you twice. One was caught on video. One was caught off. One happened off video. One happened on. Hold on, let me rephrase that. 'Cause I'm all over the place. He smacked you one time off camera. He slapped you another time on camera for the whole world to see, and you did not react in the slightest. But the moment that a girl has her phone pointed towards you, you want to slap it out of her hand. You's a fucking certified pussy, nigga. Pussy. And if nobody gonna tell you that shit, I'm gonna tell you that shit. You's a fucking weenie. You quick to slap a phone out of a bitch hand. You quick to yell at a girl and act all, you know what I mean? Act all tough with her. But a white boy slapped the dog shit out of you in front of your baby mom, your friends, all types of shit. And you sat there and did nothing. Not only that, but you shared the same card as this nigga. He's standing right beside you, and you over here trying to play friends, talking about how you'll model his clothes and all types of shit. You was a fucking nut, nigga. You was a nut. Who gonna take you serious? I know, and you know it's crazy. I know a bunch of niggas that's like Jermall Charlo. That's very common to act so tough with women, but be the softest nigga when other men be around, especially when you perceive him as a threat. I seen David Benavidez push you at a fight. You did nothing. I seen Jared Hurd wrap his arm around you to slap your brother. Neither one of y'all did nothing. I seen you get the dog shit slapped out you by a white boy after you pulled his beard. You did nothing. So all of a sudden you gonna act tough with a girl that dresses like a man? So they have to be they have to be women for you to be tough. That's what you saying. Hoe ass nigga, bro. So you know what, man? I done gave Jermall Charlo so many passes as a boxing fan because I know that he is talented. I know that he had a lot of potential, and I know he could do some groundbreaking shit. And 160, 168, he could definitely get it popping. He has the abilities to do so. But you was a certified turkey, bro. I remember Benavidez was trying to rumble you a few years back. You was talking about how he had to get a COVID shot to fight you. Then Demetrius Andre pressed you at a press conference. You was talking about you not a matchmaker, but then you was going around saying that you your own boss. Niggas is certified fucking turkeys, bro. I cannot stand the Charlos, bro. Talented fighters, but absolutely shitty people. You feel what I mean? I don't give a fuck about any of them anymore. We don't know when the fuck Jermall Charlo gonna come back. Jermall Charlo probably waiting on the Canelo payday. I hope he don't get it because he don't deserve it. He's a shitty person. He's a fucking alcoholic. And you know, he be worried about the wrong shit. You know, you should be closing out your career as strong as you can, but you out here in bowling alleys acting like you some motherfucking rapper or singer or some shit like Trey Songz. You sitting around drinking, acting like you got all the time in the world to make some shit happen for you and your family. You's a fucking clown. You know what I mean? And you know, he, you know, it's just it's sad at this point, bro. Shout out to the boy Lorenzo in the building. He said, I be drinking and I'm 34 and been left that tough guy shit in my 20s. Motherfuckers got kids. If my kid or wife or my parents not in danger, ain't no reason to be acting up. And that's just that's part of becoming a man. I don't have any, and let me say this right now. I don't have a problem with anybody drinking. You feel what I mean? Everybody around me drink except me. Me and my father, the only people that I know that don't partake in any drinking or any smoking. I'm gonna just make that clear. There's not a problem with that. But when you are a world championship level boxer and you know that alcohol is forbidden in the sport of boxing because of the toxic effects it can have on the fighter, and you're choosing to do it willingly, and to the point where he's definitely alcoholic. Definitely alcoholic. Hands down, no debating. This is an alcoholic because every time you see him publicly outside of boxing, he's drinking. Every time you see him, he's not sober. I've seen press conferences. Remember that virtual press conference that he had with Thomas Lamana? That nigga was drunk, clearly drunk, slurring his words. Like Jermall Charlo, when he's sober, you could tell he doesn't speak with a slur. He doesn't talk all fucked up. He doesn't have no messed up speech or anything like that. He talks pretty fucking clear. So when he's drunk, you could tell because he can't even get his words out properly. And when he's talking to this girl, his words all over the place. You can see it all in his eyes. He's a bona fide alcoholic. The Cardenas says Spence said alcohol messed him up. Yeah, yeah. That'll do it, bro. Because look at the effects that alcohol can have on the body. It slows down your reflexes. You know, it ages your body. You know what I'm saying? So that's a terrible thing that have a habit of doing while being in the sport of boxing because you don't want your body to age overnight. You don't want that shit. You don't want your reflexes to slow down overnight. That's just a recipe for failure. And we've seen what happened with Adrian Broner as a result of that. Adrian Broner walking around, motherfucker got white. This nigga got white hairs all in his beard. He always walking around with a gut, and he can't even beat motherfuckers like Blair Cobbs. Can't even beat motherfuckers like Blair Cobbs, bro. You over here having tough fights with journeyman, bro. I remember that first fight you had with Don King, nigga. You look terrible. You look terrible. Marlon 2631, what up? And it's to the point where Adrian Broner, he got to sign with Don King to make ends meet and pay some bills. That's the reality of this situation, bro. So I'm not saying Jermall Charlo's in that boat, but you and AB are showing a whole lot of similarities. I don't know what your financial situation is like. I hope it's not bad, but at the same time, bro, you cannot get out of your way and you cannot put the bottle down. And you over here acting tough with women when you don't even act tough with bitches. I mean, you over here acting tough with women when you don't even act tough with niggas. If you gonna be tough all the way. Don't be half stepping with the tough guy shit, nigga. Cause when I was on my tough nigga shit, I was the opposite. I wouldn't even say nothing towards a woman, but if a nigga say something, oh, we can get it cracking. You feel me? But you the total opposite. Niggas press you all on some peaceful shit. You on some friendly shit, trying to be cool and avoid confrontation. And if you that type person, that's cool because I avoid confrontation myself. But if I'm on some non-confrontational shit, it's with men and women. It ain't one or the other. You feel what I mean? Jermall Charlo smacking phones out of women's hands, and you talking, you bringing up shooting people and all crazy shit towards in a women's direction. You arguing with women, but the moment that a man press you and slap you in front of all your people, now you want to be a pacifist? Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get him the fuck up out of here. Straight up, these niggas be bugging the fuck out. Tank can retire right now. He the face of boxing. No, he not. How he the face of boxing? What does it take to be the face of boxing? Numbers? He don't do the best numbers out of all the current fighters right now. Opposition, he's not facing the best opposition. Tell me Tell me what weight class he ever dominated. Tell me when he was in a fight that people actually thought he would lose. How he the face of boxing right now? Ain't nobody even talking about Gervonta Davis, guys. Fuck is y'all even talking about? Ryan didn't beat Dev. You must have not did your homework, brother. You need to go ahead with that stupid shit. He ain't beat Dev. You must have not did your homework. So I can already tell based off of how the way you talking, you don't know boxing. And not only do you not know boxing, you also stand up for drug cheats. So if that's the case, you just need to go ahead and get the fuck up out of here because we don't support drug cheats, PED users, none of that. You know what I mean? Because if you saying Ryan Garcia beat Devin Haney when it was ruled a no contest due to PED usage, and you know that and you're aware of that information, in my head, that's somebody who defends drug cheats. We don't defend drug cheats over here. So like I said, you get your shit and get the fuck up out of here. Because we don't condone that stupid shit over here. You go do that in somebody else's chat. You feel me? Gervonta Davis over here, he got he dealing with legal issues right now. Lamont Roach and them was talking about how, you know, his team, whoever's representing him, hasn't even communicated with him. You know what I'm saying? They haven't reached out and be like, "Oh, we gonna push this fight back." You know what I mean? To the point where Lamont Roach saying, "Yo, I'm not gonna sit around and wait for this nigga. Regardless of what happens, I'm fighting this year." You know what I'm saying? No, he didn't officially beat Dev. That's what I'm saying. He didn't. So yeah, man. So this shit's crazy. Lamont Roach been streaming. You know what I mean? He been interacting with the people. And it looked like he building up a nice little fan base too. So that's a nice little calculated move by Lamont Roach. He made some great moves in the after the Gervonta Davis fight, not only in, getting attention from the casuals, but also maintaining their attention as well and continuously attaching his name to Gervonta Davis to put that pressure on him to do the rematch. Gervonta Davis has been dealing with, baby mama drama and shit like that. We all done been through that. You feel what I mean? But Lamont Roach said that his people hasn't even reached out to him. They not saying that the fight's being postponed. They not saying that they looking for another date. They haven't said anything. So you know what I'm saying? He feel like Gervonta Davis don't even want to rumble for real. Or at least he ain't prioritizing the fight right now. So I don't know, man. I told y'all a while back that that fight was not happening on August 16th, bro. I told everybody that would listen. Like, bro, we're in the middle, because at the time we was in the middle of July. I'm like, bro, we're in the middle of July. This ain't enough time to promote a pay-per-view at all. We ain't see a single announcement from Premier Boxing Champions, none of that. Amazon, none of that. And you mean to tell me that oh no, they fighting, bro. Oh, they fighting, bro. Bro, I'm hearing they talking about Gervonta Davis ain't in the gym. He not in the gym. He not in the gym, but he gonna fight. Come on, man. That shit, that they ain't even real. Yasir Ali says he has a hearing on the 29th, bro. So we gonna wait. Okay, so if he got a hearing on the 29th, and what, August 16th is how many days from that? Like 18 days? You mean to tell me he gonna fight? Absolutely not. That date chalked. Absolutely chalked. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. But Gervonta Davis is another instance of somebody who just cannot happen to get up out of his way. Why is it so hard for y'all to be in the positions that y'all in? Why is it so hard for y'all to stay around to stay away from people who don't have your best interest? If you had multiple children with that individual, all right, cool. That don't mean with the type of money that you got, you don't need to be dealing with her. You could get that shit done straight through the courts. I did it. I did it. So, and I ain't got a fraction of what Gervonta Davis makes, in a fight. Y'all probably said Tank took a knee when he didn't officially. Oh yeah, you definitely don't know what the fuck you talking about. He didn't officially take a knee. What? So what? What part of his leg hit the canvas when he was wiping his eye? His knee. He didn't officially take a knee. What was it that happened then? Can you explain to me what happened? Rude dude. First of all, and the way that you typed it, the way that you got that shit spelled out, it sound like you from Baltimore. Rude dude. So you tell me, if he didn't take a knee, what was that? Then Marissa packed him. Marissa ain't playing. I'm trying to figure out. No, I genuinely wanted to know though. So if y'all can unpack him real quick, unpack him. What does that mean? Because somebody, I want Rude Dude to tell me, yo, how, did he not officially take a knee? He said he from B-More. You can tell. Absolutely delusional. Delusional. Listen, if y'all gonna back Gervonta Davis because he from Baltimore, so be it. I got a lot of love for Baltimore, believe it or not, because Coach Calvin showed my team love. You know what I'm saying? Actually, they call they call Philly and Baltimore like twin cities, and what I mean by that is they have a lot of similarities in terms of how the way they look and shit like that. The row homes, how the way the houses are built, how the way the streets look and shit like that. Like Baltimore and Philly really resemble each other in a lot of ways. I've been to Baltimore. I've been to the aquarium. They got a nice little downtown setting. I was in Baltimore eating some motherfucking Shake Shack the last time I was over there. So I fuck with Baltimore, but you know, just because you from Baltimore don't mean that y'all niggas got a dicky every Gervonta Davis play. Like everything he do, y'all don't got a dicky him, or y'all don't have to defend everything he do. Cause I'm gonna tell y'all niggas right now, who's the biggest fighter from my city? Jaron Ennis. When he be on some nut shit, I'll call him out. If I feel like he on some nut shit, I'm gonna say something about it. I'm gonna definitely say something about it. You know what I'm saying? So like, what? And Jaron Ennis one of my favorite fighters. I love watching Jaron Ennis fight. Cool dude, always been nice to me. His father's always been cool with me. You know what I'm saying? Really, really good people. But that don't mean I'm gonna sit here and just jump to his aid whenever the fuck he do some nut. No, if he do something that's really crazy, I'm gonna say something about it. Like y'all the type niggas like y'all over here talking about how he didn't officially take a knee. How? What was that then? So you telling me my eyes didn't see what I saw? Or like I like everybody and their mom said he took a knee. And if you know the rules of boxing, you already know if a motherfucker take a knee in the middle of a fight, that is an automatic 8 count. Everybody and their mom know that. But somehow these Gervonta Davis fans act like they don't know that. Frosted tips. Shout out to the boy Lorenzo showing love from Japan. That shit is crazy. Reality is Tank ain't taking knee. What BoxRec say? Y'all saying Ryan ain't officially beat Dev, so that means Tank ain't taking knee. Yeah, show me what BoxRec says, rude dude. Go to Ryan Garcia's BoxRec and come back and tell me what it says. You tell me whether it says W or you show me if it says no contest. Go look at it. What BoxRec say? Yeah, go check what BoxRec say. And if he ain't taking knee, what did he do? You said reality is. Nigga, what's the reality? Because the reality is he did take a knee. So if your reality is he didn't take a knee, then I'm gonna tell you what, you not really living in reality. You living in delusion, brother. You living in delusion. If you watch that clip and you tell me he didn't take a knee, you are delusional. The fuck is we even talking about? Y'all niggas crazy? This ain't even a debate. You feel me? Y'all niggas trying to debate shit that's not really a debate. We saw what happened. The fact is he took a knee. The fuck? Like this ain't a debate. I'm not even about to be going back and forth with this nigga because this ain't really a conversation. For real, it really ain't. What BoxRec say? Go check what BoxRec say. Don't ask me. Go look at it and tell me whether Ryan Garcia got a W on his record from Devin Haney or not. This nigga said them niggas acoustic as fuck. You mean autistic? Did this nigga say acoustic? Yeah, sir.
Who said that?
Yeah, Sir Ali said them niggas acoustic as fuck. This nigga said acoustic instead of autistic. Um, brother, you might be the acoustic one. Oh, you did that purposely. Okay. Okay. You didn't want to say the actual word. 'Cause I was about to say, God damn, bad John. He said, I ain't trying to be mean, gang. Hey, man, it is what it is. This nigga said acoustic like a guitar. He said Tank knee was red as fuck from the knee he took. Yo, this nigga literally telling me Yeah, they probably would have censored your comment anyway, Yasser. I peep what you're saying. My fault. The Notorious, shout out to the Notorious in the building. He said, last time I checked, facts are it was no contest because Ryan is a drug cheat. Thank you. It's so simple. Like, I swear to God, only boxing fans live in this type of delusion. Like, bro, that's like the equivalent of like, let's say, let's say, in football, right? I'm from Philly, right? Let's say the Eagles, they do a punt return, and at the 1 yard line, Saquon Barkley drops the ball, right? So if they do the review and they see that he dropped the ball at the 1 yard line, it's not a touchdown. That's the reality, right? Imagine if football fans be like, "Oh no, man, that was a touchdown, man. No, the reality is that was a touchdown." No, the replay shows different. That's how these boxing fans be. They'll clearly see some shit and then say the opposite happened. Like that's really that's really delusional, man. Yeah, he talking about box rec. Like, nigga, what the box? You talking about what box rec say? Nigga, go check what box rec say and come holler at me. What is we even talking about? Nigga said Blue Magic Davis. That's crazy. Let's say Dev down around 7, 10, and 11 though. Okay, what's the result though? What's the result? All right, nigga, go ahead and spread your delusion somewhere else. Somebody pack him, please. Somebody pack him, please. We not even about to be entertaining that type of fuckery over on this channel, bro. Like, nigga, fuck you mean he ain't take a knee? All right, nigga, well, if that's the case, y'all sensitive. No, we dealing in reality. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. Shout out to Coffee Plant for packing you. Like, the fuck, how the fuck we gonna have some good boxing talk on here? We got these dumbass nigga on here spreading this false ass propaganda, them bum ass narratives, literally lying on here. You over here spreading lies. Over here spreading lies. What is we talking about? He didn't take a knee. It is what it is. What are you talking about? Y'all niggas slow, bro. I swear, bro. Keep them type of boxing fans away from this channel. I'm gonna get y'all packed every time. Fuck is we even talking about? But anyways, um, so yeah, man, ain't too many crazy topics going on today. You feel what I mean? People talking about. I seen Shushu doing his interview. Man, he's very well spoken. I like how the way he's presenting himself and pretty much saying how a lot of dudes, turned down the opportunity and he wished that he was fighting for a world title now. But he had to settle for the next best option. So I understand that. You know what I mean? Sometimes the politics of boxing could benefit you. Sometimes it could fuck you over. So you just got to move accordingly. You got to play with the cards that's dealt. So Shushu, he did a solid interview. I seen Xander Zayas do an interview. I did not check in on that interview yet. I'm gonna check that once I get off of here. But I'm looking forward to seeing Xander Zaya's performance Saturday night. You know what I mean? He looks like I said, he looks like he's in phenomenal shape, look like he in dog shape, ready to work. He looks totally focused. I think he understands that this is his moment. This is the fight that's, gonna introduce him to the boxing world. And, because he's been recognized by the boxing world, but this is gonna be the one where people start to look at him like, okay, you know what I mean? He's one of those guys in the weight class now. So now we got to proceed. We got to call him a world champion. We got to address him as such. We got to treat him as such. So this is going to be his uh, celebratory fight, his coming out party, I guess, and we'll see how the way he performs. Shout out to the boy Lorenzo with the $2 super chat, man. Y'all been showing love these past couple days with the super chats. He says, "I hope Matias called Tio bossy when he slapped him." LOL. I still I was looking at that shit earlier and I was still laughing at that shit, man. That shit was hilarious. This dude Teofimo Lopez, him and like I said, him and Jermall Charlo cut from the same cloth in terms of only being tough when they're in the boxing ring. You feel what I mean? Jermall Charlo worse because at least Tio slapped somebody at a press conference, but he did that and then immediately hid behind security. He ain't really want no smoke. He just wanted to get some cheap shit in. You feel what I mean? But he talking all this crazy shit to Matias, acting like Matias, be with like the shit talking when he not. Yeah, I mean, you can't be playing with everybody. I learned that shit. I learned that shit growing up. Not everybody with the talking, not everybody with the foolish games. You know what I mean? They'll pop you in your fucking mouth before, they get to going back and forth with you. And, you know, Subrel slapped him right on his head brim. This nigga glasses went from being to his eyes to being on the top of his nose, looking silly as shit. And he didn't even have any type of reflex to swing back or do anything. And not only that, he slapped you in front of your pops, and your pops didn't even do nothing. So y'all just confirmed everything that I already had believed about y'all, and that's what uh Subrel said about you anyway. You pussy. Like y'all niggas pussy. Like I don't know how else to put it. Like, and look, I ain't like this fucking huge macho ass nigga that just pop off at anything. Like I said, I avoid confrontation at all costs. If there's a way to avoid it, I get the fuck away from it because I got somebody to live for at the end of the day. You feel me? I got a whole son that I'm trying to be around as long as I can. You feel what I mean? I'm trying to be one of them fathers that, my son in his 40s, 50s, and I'm still around. You feel like I'm trying to be on that type time. You feel what I mean? So a lot of that shit, a lot of, maintaining your health and, you know what I mean, your age, your life is avoiding unnecessary bullshit. Because in Philadelphia, you know what I'm saying, your life could be altered or ended from the most smallest situations. You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, and we not young no more. That's a fact, Coffee. You know what I mean? We not young no more. We got other people to live for. Shout out to my fathers out here, man. You know what I mean? Like life ain't about just me anymore. It ain't about, you know what I mean, trying to prove myself to it. Man, I ain't gotta prove myself to not a motherfucker in this world except Micah Rosa. You feel what I mean? By the way, go vote for him. Go vote for him, man. You feel what I'm saying? If anybody could put the link up for me, I'd appreciate that. You feel me? If anybody could put the link up in the chat, I would appreciate that. Vote for my boy Micah, toddler of the year. You know what I mean? He currently fourth place. We trying to fight for that number one spot. We got a few days to do so. If you got support, I'm able to do so. You feel what I mean? We could definitely do it with y'all help. Um, but anyways, yeah, bro. Teofimo Lopez getting slapped in front of his dad. Neither one of them do anything about it. And I ain't, like I said, I ain't the most macho nigga, but a nigga put hands on me. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure he won't do that shit again. You feel what I mean? But that's just me. I don't know how anybody else move, but you know, if y'all want to, if motherfuckers want to have a conversation and talk about it, cool. You know what I mean? If motherfuckers want to throw hands, cool. But you know, nah, we ain't doing that. And with them disrespectful comments that Tio made towards Puerto Rican fighters, he deserved that shit. You feel what I mean? I'm glad Superell did that shit to him, punked him like that in front of his people. You feel what I'm saying? And that shit wasn't that shit. Hold up, that shit was in his hometown, right? Did it? Was that event in New York? Can somebody tell me whether that event was in New York or not? Yeah, his pop, yeah, sitting there with that dumbass hat and them shades on. You know what I mean? Trying to hide his, cheekbones and shit from all that coke he be doing. Oh, okay, that was in Vegas. Oh well, that's still Teofimo hometown. That's still like his, that's still his. He had the crib in Vegas. He lived in Vegas for a while. Yeah, I mean, and you could tell Tio was intimidated by Matias and shit because he was like, man, you fat man, or you fat. No, nigga, you just he a lot bigger than you. You seeing him in person, and now you want to try to you know you trying to not let motherfuckers know you insecure, so you trying to talk about him being fat and he can't make 140 and all this shit. Like nigga, he just fought the week prior to that. What the fuck is you even talking about? He can't make 140. He just made 140 and he just won a world title. He a champion just like you. But Teofimo Lopez, I mean, he don't be wanting to smoke with no motherfucking body, bro. He don't be wanting to smoke. He don't be wanting to smoke with nobody. They try to get in that Matias fight too. He was talking about, man, you're trying to give up. He the one who scrapped the fight because man, he's Puerto Rican, and you guys trying to make the fight happen on the West Coast. Man, that's a fight that should be happening on the East Coast. Like, nigga, shut up. You talking as if you some type of boss. You ain't putting the money up. You ain't promoting the fight. You feel what I mean? So who the fuck is you to tell motherfuckers where the fight should be made? You over here, you was a worker trying to get a boss's instruction. I don't understand that shit. You feel me? They the ones who putting the bread up. How the fuck you look telling them how they should do their job? You shouldn't even be worried about that. You shouldn't even be worried about where the fight should be. If you a real fighter, you fight the motherfucker anywhere. Okay. Arnold Barbosa was Mexican. So based off of that logic, why you ain't fight him on the West Coast? You see how that shit work? So you was complaining about fighting Subro Matias on the West Coast because he's Puerto Rican. A lot of Puerto Ricans on the East Coast. Okay, cool. So why did you fight Arnold Barbosa in the East Coast when he's a Mexican and Mexicans are typically on the West Coast? Tio's full of shit, bro. All of a sudden he got a problem fighting on a Turkey Al Sheik card. You know what I'm saying? But he had no problem fighting Arnold Barbosa on a Turkey Al Sheik card. He's super dumb, bro. He contradicts himself all the time. We be talking about this at the gym. I gotta start recording these conversations I have at the gym, bro. They will be absolute gems, bro. Telling you, we be talking about it. He's so full of shit, bro. He just don't be wanting to rumble nobody. And then he wanted to ride this narrative that Devin Haney avoided him. No, y'all offered Devin Haney a fight, but it was for chump change. Devin Haney wasn't with that shit, so he went and got somebody else to try to make the fight happen with you, but for a bigger bag. And you agreed to all of the terms, then walked away last minute. So that's how I know you a bitch. You don't believe in yourself. You be doing all this talking and parading around trying to overcompensate. You trying to come across as somebody who's confident. Whole time you overcompensating because deep down you know you an insecure little bitch. You feel me? And anybody who knows how the way men move or understands insecure people will know what the fuck I'm talking about. Tio burned a bridge with the money guy Turkey all because he ducked Haney. He burned bridges with everybody that's put him in position to win. And that's a fact. Like Top Rank made Teofimo Lopez into the person that he is today in terms of how the way they match make them and you know what I mean, slowly but surely, got him into a world title position, made him put him in position to be a unified champion with Vasil Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? Put him in position to fight Josh Taylor for a world title. Like, bro, they really guided this man to the top of the boxing world. And they did a fantastic job moving Teofimo Lopez. All for him to and they was feeding him, bro. They was feeding him. Bit the hand that fed him and disrespected Top Rank and all of them and every situation they could to the point where Top Rank just stopped fucking with the nigga. They was like, you know what? Go do whatever the fuck you want to do. Just bring us our percentage whenever you fight. You go fight wherever you want. Just give us the percentage when it's all said and done. So then you go, you trying to play it like you said and this is the thing that burned me out about Teofimo. Teofimo really comes across. He tries to give you this vibe that he's like this shrewd businessman and he knows the ins and outs of the game and he's like this highly intellectual human being. Bro, he's an absolute idiot because anybody that was business savvy wouldn't not make the moves that Teofimo Lopez does. He burns down every bridge with people that put him in position to win. You see what I mean? And I see that he trying to run over to the PBC side, trying to get that tank fight. Little do you know, PBC ain't cutting no checks for niggas like you. You don't generate no bags. They giving purses to niggas like Pacquiao and Canelo. They giving Tank a hard time giving him a fucking bag. So what the fuck they not gonna give you shit? There's a whole drought going on at PBC right now. I know that because a lot of these PBC niggas going to Riyadh season. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't be understanding Teofimo Lopez and his business moves. It's like really erratic, illogical, and just not intelligent at all. Unintelligent business moves. So then he gets in position to make some, because I never brought home $1 million. He was all on the Donza project. Oh, I never brought home $1 million. I should just be a garbage man because they make more money than boxers do. No, they make more money than you do, nigga, not boxers. And you can only blame yourself because you signed a contract. You worth what you negotiate. That's how I also know he a terrible businessman because you signed a deal. You sign a deal, and it clearly says what your minimums are. Minimums are just another way of saying this is all we got to pay you, right? So he signs a dotted line. He acts like he signed this huge deal or whatever the case is. Then you get mad when they're abiding by the contract. I don't understand that. For all that, you just need to rock out with that deal that you signed, that you negotiated, and then once that contract expires, then you can go pursue better. I mean, that's what Terrence Crawford did. That's what Floyd was doing that until he bought himself out of the contract with Ty Brain. But you start getting this money with Turkey Al Sheik, you actually bringing home well over $1 million, right? But Turkey Al Sheik ain't about to be letting you, ain't about to be holding your hand. If you want this bag, nigga, you gonna have to fight motherfuckers that Turkey Al Sheik want to see you fight, and most likely it's gonna be a competitive matchup where there's a possibility you may lose. You're gonna be in some 50-50 fights, right? So they try to line you up with Devin Haney. Like I said, you act like you was interested in the fight. You agreed. Y'all was in negotiations. Y'all agreed to terms. All it came down to, y'all got so far in the negotiation process that a contract was presented for you to sign because you ultimately agreed to everything that was put on this contract. And then you lose your pen. You lose your fucking pen. And then you making this, and you trying to come up with every excuse in the world. Oh, I'm not going to sell my soul for 15 million. Apparently, it was between 11 to 15. But he said, I'm not going to sell my soul for 15 million. Then he was like, oh, well, it wasn't really 15 million. I just said that, and y'all took the bait. Okay, so you're a fucking liar. Anyways, it was 8 figures, from what I understand. 8 figures. Never seen 8 figures in your life. Then you start talking about how Devin Haney's a Muslim and Turkey Al Sheikh's a Muslim, and if he doesn't knock Devin Haney out, then he'll get robbed because he's gonna be fighting in a Muslim country. So totally disrespectful to Islam. Like motherfuckers, the Islam, what's that shit called? Like the Islamophobia. That shit is very real, very real. You feel what I mean? Islamophobic or something like that. But this phobia that they have towards, Islam is absolutely insane, disrespectful to be honest with you. Um, then what else he said? What else he said? Oh, Turkey Al Sheikh promised me. He promised me this one fight. You know what I mean? But Turkey Al Sheikh can't promise you to get anybody in the ring with you. Nigga, it's ultimately up to the fighter. They say we'll try to get you this fight with Jaron Ennis. Jaron Ennis said, bro, if it's not a unification fight, I'm just gonna move up. Boots wasn't able to get any unification fights. He moved up. So Boots he wasn't entertaining you, nigga, because he got bigger fish to fry at 54. Oh, he promised me Jaron Ennis, but instead they try to give me Devin Haney, and that's not what we agreed to. And like, bro, all right. So what is he supposed to do if Boots says no? What is he supposed to do? Force Boots to get in the ring with you? Like, you sound absolutely stupid. T.O., people just don't like my greatness. You're not, bro. Niggas need to tell T.O. that more often. He beat 2 solid niggas, and one of them was already on the decline. But he wants you to believe that he's like this Hall of Famer. Like, stop it, bro. Stop it. You fought Richard Comey, who was never he was a champion, but he was never like this world beater. You beat Vasil Lomachenko. We give you credit for that because he was a pound for pound level fighter. Then you fought Josh Taylor, but Josh Taylor was showing signs of decline prior to fighting you. He actually was never the same after that first Catterall fight. Just retired. You feel what I'm saying? So what is like, how are you this great person? You run around talking about you 2-time undisputed. You was never undisputed in your career. You was never undisputed in your career because while you was unified champion at 35, Devin Haney had the WBC because Vasil Lomachenko relinquished his title and adopted the WBC franchise in return. That's what people don't tell you, but they don't really study their boxing, and they like to avoid the truth, man. So Josh Taylor was undisputed at one point in time. A lot of his belts got stripped from him. I think he was only left with the WBO. So when you fought Josh Taylor, He wasn't undisputed anymore, but somehow, some way, you beat him and you adopt his accolade of being undisputed. It will only work if he was undisputed at the time he fought you. What are we talking about? ESPN was trying to push this narrative that Tio was undisputed at 35. Facts. And I understand why they was doing it. At the time, Teofimo Lopez was a top-ranked fighter. Top Rank had to deal with ESPN. So, they trying to big up them fighters because they represent, they was fighting on their network. All right, cool. Still bullshit. Still bullshit. And what they did was toxic to the casual boxing fans because we got casual boxing fans running around thinking undisputed and unified is the same thing, and that ain't true. It's not true. Unified really means more than one title. So if you got more than one title, you unified. But just because you unified don't mean you undisputed. Motherfuckers don't understand that. I give them the game all the time. They still don't hear me. I'm gonna tell you what the difference is between unified and undisputed. Terrence Crawford, after he beat Earl Spence, undisputed. Boots, after he defeated Stanionis, unified. Simple. Very, very simple. But that I guess that's a bit too complex for a lot of these dudes, man. Or they just don't want to hear it. Or they just don't want to hear it. If you were to beat Josh Taylor coming off of the Jose Ramirez fight where he had all 4 belts, all right, you undisputed. But guess what? You didn't beat him when he had all 4 belts. You didn't. You beat him when he had 1, and he had the Ring magazine, I guess. So if you want to count the Ring magazine, all right, you got 2 belts, bro. Cool. Like that still don't make you undisputed. Even if they give you them 2 belts, that don't make you undisputed. We in the 4-belt era. The Ring magazine ain't a part of the 4-belt era. I don't care how much Turkey invests into the Ring magazine belt. It's not a part of the 4-belt era, bro. Shout out to the boy Terrence Smith with the $2 super chat. He said T.O. got motherfuckers thinking lineal and unified is undisputed. Right. And that's far from the truth. And that's far from the truth, brother. Let me see. Let me see what the people talking about. The Cardina says the Notorious tested. I guess you responded to the Notorious, right? Tested by another agency, the same thing Norman needs to do. He could do VADA. But I'll backtrack and get my own too. What you mean by that, Cardenas? You got download going around saying undisputed, right? But then when I told him on my channel how he wasn't undisputed, he was like, "Oh, I don't even want to get into that, bro. I don't even." Of course you don't. Of course you don't. That motherfucker download be running around acting like he this boxing historian, talking about niggas from the '80s and the '70s and the '90s. Oh man, let me tell. We could be talking about something from 2025, but but yeah, man, like in the '90s, nigga, ain't nobody talking about the '90s, nigga. We not talking about that. The '90s don't got shit to do with today. Tell me what you think about Canelo Crawford. Yeah, man, but yeah, yeah, man, Canelo, at middleweight, that remind me, with guys like, Carlos Monzon. Like, nigga, I'd have loved to have seen Canelo versus Carlos Monzon. I'm like, this nigga right here, bro. Motherfucker want to talk about everything except 2025. When Ricardo Lopez retired undefeated, finito. What you think about Ben Rodriguez unifying against Kafu? Yeah, man, but Ricardo Lopez, nigga, what? Motherfucker can't tell niggas shit about boxing. Shout out to the boy Terrence Smith with another $2 super chat. He says, "What you think Boots going to do next?" Um, I don't know what he's gonna do next, to be honest with you. But for real, if I'm Boots, of course, I'm looking for an opportunity to really I'm really looking to do a power move at 154. I know everybody's running around trying to criticize Boots for getting tune-up fights as if their favorite fighters never did tune-up fights. But um, if I'm Boots, I'm looking to grab an interim title. That's what I'm looking to do because the titles are, Fundora just fought, and I believe he got the WBC. WBO, Xander and Jorge Garcia Perez about to rumble for it. The WBA, that's a bit occupied right now, considering Terrence Crawford about to fight Canelo, the IBF, Bakram Murtazaliev. And I don't know what's going on with Murtazaliev. I don't know if Erickson Lubin going to take that opportunity. I heard Josh Kelly fell off the radar somehow. Look, it looked like them belts. I don't know. Looks like these motherfuckers is in, situations right now. I don't know. But I'm looking at that Ennis Tellez fight, man. That's what I will be looking at. I will be looking to try to make that fight happen. Grab that WBA interim. That would be a smart move because most likely, Terrence Crawford may vacate that title, and then Boots can elevate to full status champion, and then play into. And I know Boots don't want to do that, but that'll make him. That'll be a smart move on his part to get himself in the mix with some big fights at 54. That's just my opinion. Terrence Smith, he coming back with another $2 super chat. He says, the 154 even got real tune-ups? That's a great question, man. That was a question that, somebody I was talking to outside of YouTube had asked me. He was like, bro, like 154, one of the most stacked divisions. Is there really a tune-up there for him? And when you really look over the landscape of 154, ain't no really what the fuck? Oh yeah, Beckham. He tripping. But 154 is stacked, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, um, no, I don't think there's any real, unless it's like an absolute cherry pick, which I doubt Boost would do. I don't think any of these fights will be considered tune-ups. But that just goes to show you what they think of Boots. You know what I'm saying? Like, really think about it. Madrimov, he ain't no tune-up. Bohachuk, he ain't no tune-up. Bakram, he ain't no tune-up. Ennis Tellez ain't no tune-up. None of these niggas that's in this division are tune-up. Xander, he ain't no tune-up. Even Charles Conwell, he ain't a tune-up. He's still dangerous. He probably gonna come back and snap off of this next fight, considering he lost his last fight. There's a lot of work there, man. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of work. But if he's going into a stacked division and they looking at a lot of the fights that Boots is considering as tune-ups, then that just goes to show how highly they think of Boots. Terrence Smith for another $2 super chat. He's snapping. This the most super chats I've ever had somebody send me, from one person. He says, I think Boots should go get the Thurman fight out the gate. Yeah, man. Listen, I would love to see Boots fight Keith Thurman. I want to see somebody fight Keith Thurman and get him the fuck out of boxing, bro. The way he be running his mouth, he be acting like everybody avoided him. Yo, Keith, when you was on top of the boxing world, all you did was avoid motherfuckers, bro. When you was a young, hungry contender, you better not duck me, son. You better not duck me, talking about Paulie Malignaggi and all that. But once you got in position and you became unified champ, you know what I mean? You was plagued with injuries and inactivity, of course, but you never gave the people that was coming up behind you an opportunity. When Terrence Crawford was coming into the division after he became undisputed, all you did was talk about how he's not let him get a belt first and all this shit. Then he ended up getting a belt. Then you started to act like, Terrence Crawford was still insignificant. I remember that when Earl Spence was on the come up. You know what I mean? You belittled him as much as possible. When Boots was coming up in the division. You said if you beat Boots today, it does nothing for you tomorrow, and you didn't even know who Boots was. Then the next day, and now you saying, oh, Boots holla at me, like, bro. We saw your true colors when you was in position to actually make some big fights happen. You ain't really want no smoke with these niggas, man. You really ain't want no smoke with these niggas. I remember when, prior to the Sean Porter fight, you postponed the fight because supposedly you had gotten in a car accident. Then the Porters revealed that you was capping about the car accident and shit like that. So, Keith, he like to run his mouth and talk his shit, man. He's a great trash talker. Let's not get it wrong. He know how to talk shit. But like, bro, we see that you also full of shit. You talk shit, but you also full of shit. You feel what I mean? I seen him talking crazy to Jermall Charlo. You know what I mean? I would like to see that fight. I would like to see Keith Thurman in a few fights. I think him and Earl Spence, I think that fight makes sense. I think they should fight each other. Earl said he don't do tune-ups. Keith Thurman, he got his feet wet in the division after knocking out Brock Jarvis in Australia. Why not make the fight happen? But Earl Spence playing soccer and shit right now. He tapping in with his Jamaican side. He ain't worried about boxing. So Jermall Charlo, he talking about he reclaiming his throne in the division. Cool. Keith Thurman will be a step in the right direction. You coming off a hella inactivity after the Canelo fight. Go ahead, fight Thurman. You know what I'm saying? But if Jaron Ennis sees the opportunity, bro, he will stop. I think he will stop Keith Thurman today. Today, I think he'll stop Keith Thurman. Too fast, too accurate of a puncher, especially to the body. Keith Thurman been taking body shots, but you could tell he also don't like him. And going up against Boots, I think he will get stopped to the body. That's just my opinion. I think he'll give Boots some fits with his movement and shit like that. But you know, for the most part, I don't think he really has the boxing ability to keep you know Boots at bay or neutralize him. I just don't see it happening. He could box, but he don't box at that level. Shout out to Terrence Smith with a $5 super chat. He said, I want Boots to beat his ass just as much as I want him to get T.O. Keith is a character just like T.O., Ryan, and Cobbs. I agree with you, bro. They definitely all characters, to be honest with you. But one thing I'm gonna say is, like, at least Blair Cobb's actually trying to beat some motherfuckers, man. You know what I mean? Like, at least he got that Adrian Broner fight. You know what I mean? Before that, I think what was his name? Maurice Hooker. You know what I mean? Beat him. He came up short against Roca, but since then, he got a couple good ones. From what I understand, he going through some, promotional issues with Don King or whatever the case is. I think he just became a free agent recently. Um, but yeah, they definitely characters at the same time. You feel what I mean? I would like to see Boots fry Keith Thurman. And I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, I respected Boots' decision in terms of moving up into the division because if he genuinely felt like he was malnourished or he just didn't feel his best at the weight class anymore, okay, do what's best for you and your health. Because at the end of the day, if you stay at 47 too long, you have a bad performance, then you in the hospital bed for whatever reason. These fans ain't gonna give a fuck. They ain't gonna pay your hospital bill. They ain't gonna check in on you. They not gonna you know come visit you in the hospital. They ain't gonna do none of that. So you gotta do whatever is best for you and your health. You know what I mean? And if you need that additional 7 pounds to continue performing at an elite level, then so be it. Then so be it. You feel what I mean? But respecting his decision at the same time, like, damn, I wish he'd have took that Teofimo fight and broke him up because he would have stopped Teo so bad, bro. Oh my God. If you struggling with Steve Claggett pressure, you let that motherfucker hit you on the ropes. I can only imagine what Boots hand speed, power, and pressure. I can only imagine what that'll do to you. And the way your face break up, ooh wee, this nigga nose would have fell off his motherfucking skull. After that fight, his nose swell up so bad. Him and Barrios' nose be swelling up crazy as shit. They be looking like avatars and shit when they get out the ring after a tough fight. I can only imagine what Boots would have did to you, bro. You probably would have had to reconstruct your whole shit. You would have came out in your next fight with that Michael Jackson nose, nigga. Not the dark skinned Michael, the light skinned Michael. Fuck is you talking about? No, Notorious, I agree with you. Thurman definitely a give him fits because at the end of the day, he is experienced. He has fought at a high level. He was a former unified champion. He beat some good guys, and he got some tricks up his sleeve. So that'll definitely he'll provide some boots. He'll provide some obstacles for Boots for sure. You feel what I mean? That's without a doubt. I don't think he just steamrolls Keith, but at the same time, I think once Boots starts to figure out what type time Keith is on, I think he'll hurt him because look at the guys who has hurt, Keith Thurman. Look at the level of guys that hurt Keith. I remember Barrios hurt him to the body. I remember Luis Colazo hurt him to the body. I seen a 40-year-old Pacquiao, you know what I mean, who was on a decline, hurt Thurman as well. You know what I mean? If these guys are capable of doing that, I think Boots can too because, besides Manny Pacquiao, um, Boots is on a higher level than guys like Barrios and Luis Colazo. You feel what I mean? I remember Josecito Lopez cracked Thurman upside his shit, and he looked like he was hurt. Like he get hurt by everybody he fight. He just know how to weather the storm. I don't think he'll be able to weather the storm with somebody like Boots. But I would like to see that, man. Let's see what Jaron Ennis doing. You know, Keith be full of shit because he be acting like he be with fights. You know what I mean? And then when contracts get sent or offers get sent, all of a sudden he ain't. You know what I mean? He ain't with it. I don't know. He rather play as kazoo on a mountain out in Machu Picchu or some shit. I don't know. He a weirdo, man. Tio wouldn't have made it past the fifth round, and that's being generous. Sheesh. Man, I would have loved to have seen. You know what T.O. would have did? Oh man, I dared to be great tonight. You know, he just said some bullshit like that. You know, that's what they always do. They talk crazy, say they're gonna do this and do that. Then they get packed up. You know, I dared to be great tonight, man. I fought Boots. I knew he was bigger, but I believed in myself, and things just ain't work out tonight, man. I want to thank all the fans for everybody that came out and shut your dumb ass up. Shut up. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. Blair just need to get a fight lined up. Yeah, bro. I don't know. I don't know why Blair's having such a tough time getting motherfuckers to promote him, man. Like, I think that Blair could do all right in the Matchroom though. I don't know if Eddie would be interested, but like Blair Cobbs, how the way he promotes himself and he be getting the fans intrigued, and he's a good personality. I feel like he could be a promoter's dream for real. Because promoters love motherfuckers that can sell a fight. Blair ain't got no problem expressing himself and saying what's on his mind. And bro, that build up to Broner and Cobbs was hilarious. Hilarious, bro. So I don't know. I don't know why he's having such a tough time, locking in these promoters to a deal. Because he definitely need a promoter because he not gonna be able to fund his fights and he not that big of a star. He ain't got enough star power to promote, on his own. He ain't got no titles or nothing like that. He don't generate that much revenue, so he definitely need a promoter that's gonna get him there. And Blair not young neither. Like he ain't old, but he not young neither. Blair versus Rolly would be hilarious, but Rolly got a much bigger fight on his hands. You know what I mean? Rolly I'm gonna tell you what, because Rolly don't got a problem telling you whether he interested in a fight or not. Me and him was talking about Barrios, he was really optimistic about that fight. Trust me. He optimistic about that fight, bro. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised, y'all. Because Rolly gonna get elevated to that WBA champion, full status champion. And then he might fuck around fight Rolly. I mean, he might fuck around fight Barrios for that WBC unification fight. And Barrios fuck around and get packed up. I'm telling you. And I'm gonna tell you this: if Barrios beats Rolly, Rolly just need to go ahead and hang it up. If you can't beat Barrios right now, you need to go hang it up. Bro, I rewatched the fight, bro. Like not the whole thing, but I went back and watched some rounds, bro. Man, Pacquiao won that shit, bro. For one, um, from what I saw, he won the majority of the rounds. Um, as deep as I watched the fight, and then on top of that, bro, I'm hearing Mario Barrios trainer actually tell him, yo, stop being so respectful, bro. Stop touching gloves, bro. Like fight this nigga. What the fuck is you doing? Bro, that same round, the bell rings and he go ahead and tap Pacquiao gloves. I say, oh, this nigga disrespectful. This nigga disrespectful. Super disrespectful. It would have took, I ain't even gonna lie. If I was Bob Santos, bro, I'd have slapped the dog shit out of Barrios in that corner. Swear to God, bro. What the fuck? Why the fuck you ain't listening to what I'm telling you? What the fuck you paying me for if like, what is you doing? Told you to stop touching his gloves, bro. Why you keep touching his gloves? I'll really make him answer that. What is wrong with niggas? I ain't never seen nobody be so happy to be a scrub like Barrios, bro. Niggas so happy to just be ass. Like I don't understand. Why you so satisfied with being ass, bro? What's wrong with you? Really don't understand, dude. But we got any last questions before we get up out of here, man? Because I am gonna have to call it a night. Yeah, Barrios was sparring like he was like he was teaching an amateur. You know how they had like that controlled sparring? That's exactly what it looked like, controlled sparring. Like, uh father and son sparring. That's what it looked like. That's my dad, I don't really want to hit him, but he will work. Like the dad trying to knock his ass out, and he just there, just yo, my dad still got it, man. He's like one of those, like fucking clown. My dad still got it, man. Yeah, I felt some of his power, man. I had to keep my jab, had to put my jab on him a little bit. I'm like this dude right here, bro. I don't know why they trying to hold on to Barrio so much, bro. This nigga is he's certified ass. He ain't no star. He ain't no star for real. Mexico don't back him like that. Why y'all trying to keep this title around his waist so much? You already done saved him with Abel Ramos. Y'all saved him against Pacquiao too. Back to back draws. Really? That's what we doing? What's y'all main objective with him keeping his belt? I don't understand. Yeah, he a special kind of ass. This nigga like a different type of BBL. Different type of ass. He said, I don't understand how Rolly became the best fighter on Tank resume. Shit. What's crazy is this nigga Rolly about to have titles and more divisions than Tank. Ain't that something? That motherfucker trash and Basuda. That nigga bilingual garbage. That's hilarious. Yeah, he definitely older. He a little bit of Dookie too. That boy top tier Dookie. But all right, y'all. I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I appreciate everybody that came through and showed love as always, man. If y'all could go ahead and hit the like button on the way out, that'd be very much appreciated. You see what I'm saying? I'll be back at y'all with another live 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, man. If y'all haven't had the chance already, for those of y'all who put them votes in last night, if y'all could go ahead and put them votes in again for my son Micah, that'd be very much appreciated. You know what I mean? We trying to get him to win the Tyler of the Year competition. So, you know what I mean? If y'all able to do so, please do so, man. I appreciate you guys very much, man. Until then, this is Mazuma TV. I hope you have a blessed, beautiful night. I'm up out of here, man. Peace.